Okay, welcome. These videos will go over the ideas associated with dilations and scale factors. So in this first problem, we are supposed to find the scale factor that maps ABC to ABC prime. And then we're supposed to list the vertices for ABC prime. Okay, let's go and figure out what we need to do to find the scale factor. If you look at your diagram, we can see B prime and we can see B. That's all that we can see, B prime from the image. So that means we're going to have to use those 2 points to find the scale factor. B is 6 and 3, and that is going to be mapped to B prime, which is, looks like a -12 and a -6. Okay, now remember, a scale factor has to do with the old image and the new image. And the scale factor is found by taking a measurement from the new image and dividing it by a measurement from the old image. And what we're going to be using is their ordered pairs. So the new image has an x value of 12. The old image, B, has an x value of 6. For the y value, B prime has a -6, and B, the old image, has 3. Because they come from the origin, they still give you a measurement. It's the length of those sides, so to speak, how far they are away from the origin. Now if you simplify each one of those, a -12 divided by 6 is -2, and a -6 divided by 3 is also 2, so that is our scale factor. Now remember, a scale factor is multiplied to the original ordered pair of the old to give us the new. So to find the list of the new ones, all the ABC prime, we're going to take the scale factor and times it by the original ABC ordered pairs. Okay, let's go ahead and set this up. -2 times, might as well start with B. So -2 times B, 6 times 3, and we take A prime, or A is 8 and 12. And then a -2 times C will be 10 and 3. Okay, now let's do our mapping. That leaves B prime to be 2 times 6 is a -12, and a -2 times 3 is a -6. And that's what we had from our last little bit. -2 times 8, -16, and let's see here, -2 times 12 is 24. Now we'll do C prime, and I think here I make a mistake. A -2 times 10, I write down a -30, and it should be a -20. So fix that on your paper. And then -2 times 3, it should be a -6. Okay, for the next problem, we're going to dilate the original ABC by a scale factor of 1/3. And then we want to list the vertices and then finally draw our image. Let's first start by listing our ordered pair, the original ordered pair. 12 and 12. B prime, 12 and a negative 9. And then C prime, looks like it's 6 and 4. Now take each one of those ordered pair, we're going to times it by the scale factor of 1 divided by 3. Do it to A, do it to B, and do it to C. Now division by multiplication by 1/3 is like dividing everything by 3. So 3 divided into 12 is 4. So that'll give us a double 4 right there for A prime. B prime will give us another 4. 3 divided into 12 is 4, and then 3 divided into a negative 8 will be a negative 3. And then last of all, 1/3 into 6 for C prime will be 2. And this may throw you for a little bit, but 4 divided by 3, that'll be 1.333. I'm just going to round that off to 1/3. So 1.3 was rounded from 1.333, a repeating decimal. Okay, so there's a list of our vertices. Now we're supposed to draw the image. Now when you do these multiple choice tests, you need to work your problems out just like you would on paper, and then match your answers with what choices you see on the screen. Okay, let me zoom in there a little bit better to make it easier to graph. So there's A. 4, negative 3 is B. There's B prime. And then C is at 2 and 1.3. And I'll have to estimate to 1.3. So there's 2, up 1, and just a little bit higher for the 0.3. Let's go ahead and label these things. Oh, one thing that's good to do is there's a line test that you can do. You can hold a straight edge up from the center of the graph to the original point, and if you've done it right, the new point should be also on that line. They should be what we call collinear. So here I'm taking a straight edge, I put it on the origin, I go out to the original one, I go to B, and you see B prime is also on that line. Now I'll take it and I'll test C, move it to C, and then you can see C, C prime, and the origin of the graph are that 0.00. They're also on the same line. And then last of all, we'll do A to check that one. A all the way out there. You can see that it lines up on the same line. So we know that we've got this. We're good to go ahead and finish drawing our image. Let's go ahead and connect the vertices together using straight lines. There we go. And that's it. Okay, our next problem, we're supposed to graph the following pre-image. 4, 2, 5, 1, and 2, negative 1. We're supposed to do a dilation with a scale factor of a -3. Okay, let's go ahead and draw our points. There's 4 and 2, there's 5 and 1, and then 2, -1. And this is a really, really small picture. Let me zoom in so I can write this a little bit better. There is the first side. There we go. And let's go ahead and label this. There's A, B, and C. Now let's take our ordered pair. and we're going to do a dilation with a scale factor of a -3. So let's apply our scale factor. -3 times A. A is 4 and 2. -3 times B, and B is 5 and 1. And then C is 2 and -1. A prime becomes, looks like a -12 and a -6. B prime is a -15 and a -3. And then finally C prime has to be a -6, and then on that one it's a +3 instead of a -3. Okay, now we just need to graph our points. Let me zoom in here a little bit closer. A prime is a -12 and 6. B prime is way out at the end, a -15 and 3. And then C prime is at a -6 and 3. Let's go ahead and do the line test before we connect our vertices to see that they form a straight line. So find a straight edge or fold a piece of paper and start from the origin and line it up with one of the original points, and if you've done it right, it should pass to all the primes. It works on C. Alright, let's move it to A, or we move it to B, I guess I do next. So B is a little bit off, but you can still see it's headed in the right direction. And then we check A, and A hits right on A prime. Okay, so that means we've done it right. Okay, that's it, and we'll go ahead and finish drawing our vertices, and that's basically how you do dilation. So finish the quiz and you should be fine.